as we learned from the Confident Communicator Manual, speech number 8, get comfortable with visual aids. She will be telling us of a tale of a horrendous theft that occurred in her biology room at Seminole High School. It happened on the Friday night, right before Halloween night. The item that was stolen was never recovered, and is probably still arising each year around this time somewhere in Sanford. The title of her speech is The Halloween Theft. Here's Denise.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Morning.
Toastmaster General. I would like to rhapsodize this morning about a wonderful specimen that we had at Seminole High School. In 1989, Denny and I moved to Winter Springs, and I took up a job at Seminole High School. And I was very, very fortunate because we had a brand new science wing. Everything was new. We had new models, we had new specimens, we had wonderful lab tables. I would be up front with a nice long lab table. The students would be in seats in front of me. And behind them, the room was long enough that we had lab tables so we could actually divide the class into two parts. Lecture up front, or discussion, and in the back we could have our lab. I was very fortunate. The students faced me. What I got to do was I got to look out a beautiful wall of glass. The back of my room was totally glass panes. I could see the colors of the changes of the fall. I could see the birds winging it, and I could see the truant students winging it over the fence to try to get away. One particular very valuable specimen that we had was worth $5,000. This particular specimen was a fully articulated human skeleton. It was of average height. It had the metal screws, the metal wires, placing all of the bones in proper orientation. The students really reacted to this particular $5,000 specimen. It was either here or here. Half of the students loved the real bones in the skeleton. They wanted to know where it came from. Was it a male or a female? How long did we have it? Could I touch it? The other half was the factor. They did not want to go near the real bones. They did not want to know where it came from. Was it male or female? Just keep it away from me. As a teacher, we are delighted if we get a reaction from a student. Whether it's positive or negative, we've got them. Fred was truly a godsend. It came to Halloween time, and at Seminole High School we had competitions to dress up our room in a big Halloween display and go for the prizes. We decided that we had an advantage because we had Fred. What we did was the students put Fred in the back of the room. We had spider webs. We had bats hanging from the ceiling. We had orange and black streamers, which incidentally are the colors of Seminole High School, which works in really well at Halloween time. We also had dry ice. And we would put dry ice in containers. And there was all this mist that would come up and would be very, very impressive. Fred needed to be dressed up. The students thought that it would be best if he had a nice orange wig. It would be nice to put on a witch's hat onto his head. They put tennis shoes on his feet, on his bony feet. They even put one of my lab coats on Fred. They would slip the bony skeleton arm in that way and slip it in that way, and they would get it all set. Then the seniors got to put a big sign on Fred, the most horrendous sign you can possibly think of. What could it be? It was freshman. They put freshman on the front of Fred. The judges came into our room. They looked at our displays. Naturally, we wanted to give a positive influence to our judges. So we gave them gourmet chocolates to try to persuade their votes. There you go, Mr. Judge. That night at the football game, a big football game for Seminole High School, at halftime, they were going to name the top 3 classes. Anticipation, worry, and then all of a sudden, the names were read. Mrs. Ward's biology class, we were winners. We were so excited. We went home, we won the football game, we won the award, and we went home to enjoy a Halloween weekend. But tragedy struck. When we came in Monday morning, in the back of the room, in those beautiful windows of pane glass, was all shattered at the bottom. They had, whoever it was, had taken a hammer and pounded right where one of these bullseyes for the spider web was, a nice large hole, and they had gone in and grabbed Fred out through the opening. The $5,000 irreplaceable real skeleton was gone. We called the police. The Sanford police came and they said, yes, there had been problems that night also in one of the old cemeteries, some vandalism. And they felt that we were part of that gang. Fred was never found. What we had to do was we had to use fake bones, plastic or styrofoam, fake bones after that. Dim bones, them dry, fake, dim bones. That's what we had to use. I know that Fred is in the minds of the members, the students of Sanford, and he walks somewhere again in their minds. Thank you, Mr. Postmaster.